Welcome back into the workshop for a real quick one. I have hooked up the dust extractor, like I've been saying, with the shorter, in the previous videos that was, with a shorter section of hard line there. So that goes straight out through a few fittings, and I'll just move that. And as you can see, straight into the ductwork. So I've got the maximum, other than connecting the darn thing straight up to the pipe, which I can't because it's different height, all the rest of it. That's as good as I can get. I've unfortunately had to retain this old bit of flexi ducting tubing, and I've connected that straight in, put some elbows on, etc., to gentle the radius. And well, I'm going to say it's a little bit better than what I had feared. You can definitely hear and feel the additional airflow at this point, and it's done an okay job, is what I'm going to say. I rationalised where I put the junction there. I moved it along about 300 millimetres, about a foot along, and that just means that it's not hard behind the actual point where it actually joins onto the saw. Stops a little bit of the fouling issue. I cut down a bit of the pipe work here, the tubing here, basically cut it in half. I was hoping that the half would have helped over there, that's it lying on the ground, but no. That means that there's half as much of that, well, roughly, probably just a little bit over actually, of that ducting left there. So maybe a little bit better, less friction there. All of these things hard to quantify, and that was why I wanted the anemometer. And it's just a bit of a beggar that I'm already going down the path, which I won't be able to test the pros and cons, or the changes rather, as I make a change. And I was going to try and annotate and get have a set of figures to show the improvements, so that should you want to maybe do something similar, you at least can see some of the hard figures to have gone by. Unfortunately, it's not the case. I haven't done a lot of cutting. I was just I cut up a little bit of, well, actually the packaging that those units came in had ply on them, so I've done some cuts, not much, but it cut. Haven't checked in the drum how much is in the drum. There's sweet FA in there in the bag, so that's kind of good, well, as it should be. So yeah, but as I said, I've only just made a couple of small cuts, but it will be interesting over the next day or two or three to see how much builds up there compared to the bag. If you could say this way, put a bit of a positive spin on it. If I can have equal or slightly better performance from all of this configuration, plus the luxury of having the chip held in this drum rather than the bag of the old dust collector, keeping it away from the new one, that might be worth the hassle or the expense. As I said, it wasn't prohibitively expensive, but money that I'll never see again because I've now spent it. But I want to be able to protect my lungs and protect my sanity by having machinery that functions well. If I ever do get to, which is 50-50, if I ever get to the point where I want to start making things in the workshop, perhaps for sale, a little sideline, retirement business, then having the right tools is a bit of a luxury. But it doesn't stop people, doing the same sort of thing with lesser items and tools. Just that, well, I've got to this stage in life, and I'm kind of probably a bit late getting the dust extraction up to a standard. That's also another thing. That bag there turns out to be a 30 micron bag. So most people would say you might as well just not even have it there, have a filter. Well, it's not really filtering much when it's 30 micron. The whole idea was it was going to be behind a vented, closed off area. So there was little chance of that air coming into the workshop at all. So I still want that to be the case, and at the moment, of course, I can't because I've got the hoses coming through the doorway. But once I get it all organised, hopefully in the next month or two, that may or may not even be in the workshop itself. The downside is, if I do that, then I may have to go to the outside of the building to check and empty the bin. Not really wanting to do that. The other side of it is I might ask an electrician about removing the switch off the motor and running a lead up to a magnetic switch that'll be dedicated just to that one machine, and have that mounted on the inside of the room here. That way, if I need to turn it off off and on at the switch, I can do so without having to dive into that room. All of these thoughts. The idea of mounting that, I'm making this more long, it's only going to be a couple of minutes, and there it's already past that. I'm still chewing over that idea of lifting and rotating 90 degrees the fan itself. That would present the switch a little bit more to my liking for turning on and off if it were to be in this position later on once I've done all the fiddling. Kind of the theory would be, if that unit was that way and then the separator was right there, that would kind of be the ideal situation for me. Whether that works or not, I'm not too certain, because I'll need to get the duct from this point here through the wall. So I don't know what the relationship's going to be with that. So I literally don't know. But that's my thoughts. Summing it all up, it's probably a little bit better than I thought. Not as good as I want, but better is, better. The one thing I will have to do, and I'll probably want to do that before I do anything else, is take those the fences off and drill out the pins or the holes so that I can drop pins in there, nails, to create a little grill across there, because that perceived extra airflow is attracting chip and pieces. And as I bend down, I wouldn't want a chunk of this to be drawn in there and then go flying through the system and hit the fan, but it shouldn't, because this is in the way. The separator, yippee. So the benefit is not having big chunks go in at all, and the benefit is, I've got a chip separator just in case it does. So it should never get to the fan. Besides which, they are kind of built robust, metal, for chip to go through. Not that they are meant to resist heavy stuff hitting them, but they are at least capable of resisting light damage, and I don't anticipate much going in there, says I, until I drop something chunky and it gets sucked up and away. Yeah, but we've got the separator. Okay, that's it. Fairly short. I do make them on occasion, I know. Standing joke, I suppose. Rightio, that's it. I'll see you in the next one now. Bye.